Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angelic Guidance for Daily Living. My name is Carolyn McGee, and I am here with my monthly co-host, Pat Rainville, to chat with you about independence. We just celebrated Independence Day, and one of the things that my angels whispered in my ear as I was sitting on the beach celebrating with everybody else is, what can I release? What can I let go of? What can I be free from that's kind of binding me? You know, if you think about the Independence Day, it's a celebration from unfair regulations, from taxes, from not being represented. So how are we not representing ourselves? And what do we want to be free of? What do we want to let go of?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent topic because I know in the readings that I've been doing lately, the ones I do on YouTube, it's been about freeing from clutter, you know?
Yeah.
And in terms of, physical clutter itself, which is a huge freeing.
Absolutely. It's a
thing.
huge energy drag when
Yeah.
you've got all of those things. And even if they're things that have meaning, if there's too many of them, it just becomes overwhelming and stagnant.
So that was a big message about freeing yourself, was was the Archangel Jophiel came in with that message. But it was also, having to do with clearing the air, freeing yourself from tension in relationships that you may have, where there's just like an underlying kind of tension energy there. And so kind of freeing yourself up from that. Usually it takes some kind of communication.
Yeah, it does. And even if it's a communication with yourself, one of the things that I've noticed for me is that I have been letting go of my old way of communicating and having a certain expectation that somebody's going to respond in a certain way or that I need them to respond in a certain way.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more about accepting what is, and that's been very freeing for me and really opened up a lot of opportunity for deeper conversation, like you were saying.
Yeah. I've worked with the angels a lot too, when you're really looking to free up your time. And as we know, there's some archangels who energetically can free you. From energy binding, being bound to certain things, like Archangel Michael. We do clearing with him all the time.
Daily.
But no, it's a good thing to think about because, freeing yourself, like you said, from the expectations that you may have of yourself and other people may have put on you. In any situation where you go into where you feel like you're obligated to do something, either out of guilt or family obligation and expectations.
Exactly.
And it's not to say that those are always entirely wrong, but there's also times where we're just so really bound up by them.
Or it's ingrained in us. So we almost create what we don't want because we have this expectation of this is how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And by being able to let go of that expectation, I have seen that the conversations have gone smoother and they've actually taken a different type of energetic flow.
I've come across a lot of people recently who are doing it in the form of, they're just kind of taking a stand and freeing themselves from the usual, the family tradition is to do this year after year after year after year. And, they're maybe for one time doing something different and kind of freeing themselves of that. And, which is another way. They're taking their power back in a sense and kind of stepping outside of that. Okay, well, this is great that we've had this family tradition and we love it and it's wonderful and we're so grateful that we've had it, but can we just for 1 year do something different and free ourselves from this obligation,
Yeah, and sometimes, routines can cause us to settle our energy too, because there's like a certain patterning that happens and it doesn't have the same spice or flavor to it because it's routine and it can be draining on the energy. So even making a small shift in something can make a really big difference.
Yeah. I heard one of my coaches and mentors say not too long ago that in order to grow, you have to let go.
Well, I like
or
that.
vice versa. Yeah, you have to let go in order to grow. And it's so true.
Yeah.
You really have to be willing to take that step of independence and free yourself up in order to be able to grow,
Yeah.
Spiritually, personally.
Yeah, definitely. And earlier you mentioned, kind of energy clearing and Archangel Michael, having him or using him as a support to release those patterns, release that set way of thinking that is so easy to get stuck in is really powerful. And also the energetic cords in between people. Like you have, many years ago, I did a lot of work. I actually think you helped me when you were first doing your angel work to cut cords and then reset them. And doing that with my mother shifted the way that we interacted. We were still, even though I don't even know how old I was. I think I was in my 40s at that time. We were still acting as mother and child. Like she couldn't see me as an independent. She couldn't see me as, being able to make good choices. And resetting that so it was heart to heart shifted everything. So we're more equals energetically. And it just shifted and gave me a lot of freedom. Because we can have conversations that we couldn't have before. And now she's starting to ask, how are the angels? Can you send angels for me? So it's been a complete opening of her own energy and what she's accepting of and able to integrate into her own space by making that shift.
Yeah. So I just sort of want to clarify, for our viewers, maybe a little bit of what because we're talking about cord cutting and stuff like that, and it sounds kind of strange, or it may sound kind of strange if you're not familiar with what that is. So when we talk about energy a lot of times, part of that energetic component is our own personal energy field, otherwise known as the aura, that we all have around us. And some people are actually able to see the aura and the colors in it, but when we interact with other people, there's what we call cords of energy that go between us and that other person. Okay.
You could almost think of it as an energetic umbilical cord.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it does connect from person to person through those energetic bubbles that we have around us.
Yeah. So, if you've encountered someone very negative or what have you, I guess the way I used to explain it to people is that, as we go about our day, we encounter different, smells, we encounter different environments, we get stains, dust, odor on our clothes, which is why we wash them at the end of the day. And we might have things that stick to us, And so when we talk about cutting cords and energy clearing, we're talking about clearing all that out of your own energy field. As you encounter different people throughout your day, you pick up a part of their...
little bits of their energy.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, the energy bubble around us is as wide as our hands out. So, technically your energy is overlapping mine here.
Yeah, right now, exactly.
So you can just imagine that there's a bubble around me, there's a bubble around Pat, and we've got this connection and overlap of our energy that in our case is really positive and helps us to know when the other one's done talking and, connect into the, the universe of the angels in a more clear way. But both of us will separate out of that when we're done here.
Yep. And now in your life, if you have people who have been negative or there's underlying tension there, when they have maybe a negative thought about you, there's an energetic cord that gets attached between you and that other person. So when we talk about angelic cord cutting and asking Archangel Michael, like the way you did with your mother, Archangel Michael has that sword of light, and he can cut those cords of negativity and fear and keep them from affecting you and the situation. And so it can really change, as you found out with your mother.
Completely changed it. And when you're cutting those negative cords or those lower vibration cords, the cords of fear, you're not severing the relationship. You're not cutting off that connection. What you're doing is allowing it to reset or rebuild from a higher place.
Yeah.
That's why with my mom, I chose to reconnect from the heart so that there's no imbalance between the two of us.
Yeah.
It's a much healthier energy flow in both directions from heart to heart.
Exactly. Yeah, because love has its own energetic
It does.
cord that it's attaches between you and somebody else. But that's one that can't be broken,
No,
because love can never be broken.
no. Love is really all there is.
Yeah. So it changes the dynamic.
Yes, absolutely.
When the fear cords go away and just, the heart-to-heart connection is
Yeah, it
there.
makes a really big difference.
Because the energy, as I understand, the energy field of the heart is huge.
Yes.
Really huge. Almost, bigger than it has, from what the research I've read, it has its own energy field, the heart. And it almost even goes out further than our own energy field.
Yeah, it's huge. And it's the center of our bodies. Mm-hmm. So it's the center of, almost the gateway from our physical bodies, the 3D energy that we embody with, being grounded and being present and having energy to bring out things out into the world, and then kind of more the spiritual energy, being able to speak authentically and receive those divine downloads or that connection to the angels and to God. But it all flows through our hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can ask the archangels to surround and protect your heart. You can ask them to clear your heart out. And they'll assist you in doing that.
Yeah.
To improve your relationships.
Yep.
You can ask them to harmonize your relationships with other people too.
Absolutely. And you can ask them if you've got protection. A lot of times we make vows, just like a vow in life. I will never do this. Energetically, we can make a vow in our heart of, I'll never be hurt again. I won't open my heart. I can't trust. Those are examples of ways
Yeah.
that we shut down our heart and the energy in our heart. So asking the angels to come in and remove that protection, sometimes I see it as almost chains with a lock wrapped around the energetic field in the heart so that it's closed down and it really can't flourish. So to have that freedom to love and to love unconditionally again, that's something the angels can definitely help you with, and you will find more energy and also more authentic relationships.
True. True. They bring in a lot of protection when you
Yes,
start
they do.
calling them and working with them on a daily basis.
Yep. Yeah. And there's that balance of it too. Asking to remove something if it's tying you down, if it's not allowing you to really be free, and then bringing in that unconditional love, the acceptance, connecting through the heart so that it's more authentic and open and raises your energy level.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as anything too small.
Yes.
That's what I love about working with the angels.
That's right. Because in their reality, there's no big or small, there's no
Nope.
up or down, there's no here or there.
And there's no judgment, there's no question, it's just ask and then be open to receiving. And that's a pretty amazing way to live.
It is. It's always an interesting surprise.
Yes.
So now, going into this, as we head into later in July and into August, we also have planetary alignments, sort of.
Yes.
I'm not an astrologer, but I do keep tabs on kind of what's going on with that. And we have some eclipses coming up, and also some planets that are in retrograde. And these all, I know with eclipses that they're times of real change and transformation, and it kind of flows along with that theme of independence and freeing yourself, because a lot of times they tend to break things up so that the old can fall away and the new can come in.
Yeah.
So as I understand, the best way to work and deal with that is to kind of go with the flow of it. Things fall away.
Easier said than done
I
sometimes.
know, it is.
isn't
It's true. It's true. But I often find that when I do cards for a reading, that the cards will show up in alignment, like the theme of the card or the archangel that shows up, excuse me, will be in alignment with what's happening astrologically.
Yeah. Well, it's all divine energy, right? So it's all connected, and we're going to receive the information from the angels. For me, it's always, there's no such thing as a coincidence. So there's going to be a card that I pull through. I'm going to overhear somebody talking about something. I will have gotten advice in a meditation. It's just like confirmation, 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 which is beautiful because then there's no room for.
There's no mistaking it.
Right. There's no questioning that this is really the right answer in the direction that I need to take or the next right step, whatever. That's one of my favorite sayings is the next right step. Helps me to be more present.
So who is your, well, we know Archangel Michael is the go-to
Archangel
angel
Michael's yes.
for freeing up and cutting cords and things like that, but.
I do a lot of work with Archangel Ariel also. And, it's the outside, the animals, that childlike energy. My children are grown, but I find that sense of wonder and magic and awe that she helps amplify that for me, so that really pulls out my creativity. And how about you?
I would say Michael's my primary go-to
me too.
one. But depending on what's going on, I think that's what I love about this Archangel deck.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
I just ask who I need to work with. I call on their energy, see who shows up, and I work with that particular Archangel. But I mean, most people, if you've been brought up in a Christian faith, I think you're aware of the primary 5 archangels, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. And I'm not sure what the 5th one would be, but maybe I jumped ahead.
Maybe you did. Maybe you're inviting in a new one.
But I would say Michael and Gabriel are the most motivating.
Yes.
In terms of seeing or feeling an energy shift a lot quicker, like motivating your energy.
Yep.
To get something accomplished, sort of free yourself from something.
Yeah. And I found that Uriel is very grounding for me. His energy is associated with the earth. So if I have something that I need, like a foundation of energy or something more concrete, that he's very good for me to help solidify whatever it is that I'm working on.
Interesting. Because I've always found him to be more like working with the intellect. I always get ideas when I work with him.
Awesome. I love the way that there can be so many different things to so many different people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'll do with angels often is not say, I want to work with Archangel Uriel or Gabriel or Raphael or Michael. I will just say, I need help with this. Angels, please.
Yes, yeah.
And then a lot of times I won't even specifically know. I mean, sometimes the angels I can completely sense the energy and I know immediately who it is. But sometimes it feels like a team, because we all have teams. There's supports of big teams of angels that are around us all the time. And I think in one of the earlier shows we mentioned this, but God gave us free will. And one of the things with the angels is that they were created by God to support us, but we have to ask.
Yes, we have to make that free will choice.
We have to make that free will choice. So by inviting them in and saying, I want help with having more energy, or I want to release this certain attachment, or I want to be able to communicate more authentically with the people that I love. Whatever it is that we're trying to free ourselves from, asking for that help without locking in who's going to provide the support.
Yeah, no, actually asking just for their intervention, and I've done that with freeing up my time. We've all had those times where we've accidentally,
overbooked.
Inadvertently, double booked yourself, overcommitted yourself in some way.
Yes.
or I've either that happened or you catch yourself in this mind frame of saying, oh God, I'd love to do that, but I don't have any time. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to do that. And it becomes a self-fulfilling sort of prophecy. All of a sudden you catch yourself and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm projecting out into my future that I'm going to have this scarcity of time. And by asking for their intervention, I found they can pop in and without, again, you're right, without asking for anyone specific.
Yeah.
But they just help to cut the attachments to that, or get you I say pop you out of that cycle, but it's really help shift you out of that mindset. So you stop doing
Yeah,
that.
it's just
and-
a change in the energy.
Yeah, but I've literally had things that, where I double booked myself and didn't know what to do. And it got worked out for me because I called in their help.
Called in their help, and they took care of it.
They did.
That's
And
great.
I was like, wow,
Thank
thanks.
you.
That's so cool.
I know. And gratitude. Oh my goodness, the energy of gratitude when, we do have that support. That's so powerful and important.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, should we do a little meditation?
sure.
Okay. So, if it is safe for you, I invite you to close your eyes. Put your feet on the ground if possible. And just, let's take 3 breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. So 1, and 2, and 3. And feel your energy becoming more present in the moment. Letting go just for now. Thoughts of the future, that to-do list, all the things that need to be done. Just imagine some post-it notes in your mind if you need to, and write those ideas down and let them float away. And also release everything that's happened in the past. All the should-haves, the would-haves, the could-haves, that energy, that baggage that we carry along with us all the time. That heavy, negative energy of what didn't go well and how we could have done something different. Free yourself from that.
Let me send the Archangel Michael to be with you to help you feel safe, protected. And if you so choose, to ask him to cut any cords that may be attached to you, that may be draining your energies in any way, to help free you from the energetic drain that those cords can have, to give you more independence and freedom of choice. Taking a nice deep breath. Knowing that Archangel Michael is around you, keeping you safe, surrounding your home while you're away, traveling, surrounding you and your loved ones. And lifting up your energies.
And as you allow Archangel Michael to lift up your energy, imagine your own breath lifting up your energy and magnetizing who you truly are, being present in this moment. Seeing those cords of energy from the past just dissipate completely. Breathing in the love of the angels, the love of God, the love of the entire universe. And knowing that the future is guaranteed to be bright, to be filled with love and light. Just from being in this moment, you can see that and feel that. There is nothing to do other than be and be love.
Feel the energy shift already.
I can too. And earlier you talked about the heart energy, and a lot of people know, or maybe some don't, but I communicate with animals, and the way that I speak with them or communicate and connect with them is through my high heart. So there's like a pink cord or energetic that goes from my heart to the animal's heart, and that is one of the ways that I receive those energetic messages from them.
Oh.
So it's all through the heart. And
So do you visualize like a pink light coming from your heart going to them?
Yep.
And surrounding them? Oh, nice.
so it's almost as if I become a pink bubble and they're a bubble, and we connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would help you resonate.
Yeah, because animals are all about unconditional love. They're already there. They don't even have to tap into that energy. It's present at all times for them. And it goes for every animal, whether it's, domestic, it's a pet,
Or whether it's a spider.
or whether
Or
it's
a
a
creepy
spider.
bug.
Or an orca. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. They've all got that unconditional.
I just
very
had to ask
present.
about the creepy bugs.
I had a couple of them in my apartment today.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny.
It is funny. And actually, I brought my Earth Magic deck today.
Oh, that's a good deck to bring.
Yes.
I know, it's so funny with the animals because I always, even no matter what kind of bug is in my house, I never kill it. I always just talk to it. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put you in the cup, then I'm going to bring you outside.
I've gotten so I can corral flies, like open up the door. I'm like, out you go, out you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Go,
That's
you
what
go.
I'm always kind of like. I'm like, look, I'm just going to disturb you here, but get the heck out.
That's
You
right.
know, I just helping you outside.
That's right, that's right.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, look at what we've got here.
Ooh, what do we got?
We have fire and ice.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah. So,
What was
wow,
your?
that is really all about balance.
It's true. Yeah, yeah.
We need to have both of them. So, we've got fire and passion and bringing what we want to out into the world, and then ice, an iceberg, which is what this actually says, is what's lying underneath.
Oh,
So
okay.
you've got and this feels to me about, the releasing energy also. So we've got the fire burning away what no longer serves us, and then what's energetically below the surface? What do we need to allow to come into our consciousness and our awareness so then we can burn it away? So what's below, and how do we get rid of it? Pretty amazing.
That is. All right. I'm going to pull an archangel for us for this coming month ahead.
Perfect.
Ooh.
And who is it?
Archangel Azrael with comfort.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So he always shows up when, because as part of letting go sometimes and the freeing yourself, if you do have things fall away, because sometimes when eclipses happen, things can happen pretty suddenly and unexpectedly. There can be a grieving process with that, even though it's all for our own,
Yes.
personal growth and things like that, and it's wonderful that way. It's we still sometimes go through a feeling of loss. So Azrael is an angel that provides that comfort to us in those times, when that space when we're having a tough time getting through it. But let's see what Archangel Michael's last message is. And do we want to pull one from Saints and Angels for the?
Sure.
Oof, oof. All right, he got too many those are too many, Michael. We just needed one.
All right, well, this card is called Triumphant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just love it because it's magical. It's a unicorn. There's rainbow wings, and she's got her hands up
Oh,
in
I
the
love that
air.
card, yeah.
It's so beautiful and free, and just be magic and expect
Yeah,
magic.
reason to be optimistic.
Absolutely.
Well, Michael's message was the situation is already resolved,
Beautiful.
which in spiritual truth, it always
It is.
it already
always is, yes.
So, and in this image, he's embracing a child, which is very symbolic in and of itself for children in your own life or your own inner child, as you
Your
would
own
know.
inner child, absolutely.
So,
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you all for joining us. We've had a lovely time as always, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye for now.